In reading the petition, I find it extremely interesting that Paris mentions the phrase dark-skinned black women some 12 times. In contrast, she mentions the phrase black people 3 times, but not even once does she mention the phrase black women. The Bible says, out of the mouth, the heart speaks. This tells me Paris is not concerned about black women as a whole, but solely those who are dark-skinned like herself. People, it's your Negro with aptitude and host of the Blackboard, Mickey Lee. Hope your week has been going well and that you are enjoying a fantastic Over the Hump Wednesday. Listen, I don't want to keep you too long. I've got several videos that'll be coming at you in rapid succession. So I'm going to jump right into this one. A few days ago, I received a notification about a posting from YouTuber Paris Milan. Now, this was a surprise because I'm not a subscriber of her channel and only rarely watch some of her videos. If you are not familiar with her, she is a Bay Area-based content creator and a social media influencer. Her brand, though well known already, gained a huge amount of traction when she broke the story a couple of years ago about the derelict and disrespectful antics of the late B. Smith's husband, Dan Gasby. Not only did the story bring much needed attention to this man's despicable behavior, but it illuminated the problem many well-accomplished, high-earning black women face when they become incapacitated, or when they are no longer able to fully handle their lives and must rely on their husbands, who are often less accomplished and less loyal. I give Paris full props on that story and fully agreed with her analysis of the situation and what its fallout revealed about relationships in the black community. That said, I unsubscribed from her channel a long time ago because she is quite hateful towards light-skinned black women, and like many in the dark-skinned black woman brigade, she says she is pro-black woman, but she's really only pro-dark-skinned black woman. Now, I've had my own internet run-in with her, and most likely this video and the next couple of videos I'm planning may trigger her again. Since I have the gall and audacity as a light-skinned black woman to call out this vile behavior, but I'll cover that internet run-in with her in another video. But that's why I don't watch her, Chrissy, and a number of other YouTubers in that space. If you want to be pro-dark-skinned black woman, have at it. But don't be disingenuous and pretend that you are interested in the protection of all black women. Nor should you expect black women who are not dark-skinned to be ride or die when the allegiance is not reciprocated. Furthermore, most of these women in the dark-skinned black woman brigade are in a perpetual pity party and are no different than the black men who claim to be pro-black but are really only pro-black male. According to the notification, ex-NFL player Colin Kaepernick is coming out with a book in October called Abolition for the People, in which he promotes the closure of prisons and abolishing the police. He commissioned renowned artist and former Minister of Culture for the Black Panther Party, Emory Douglas, famous for his iconic Police as Pigs imagery, to create the cover art. Had the petition been designed to cultivate a discussion with Colin Kaepernick about the extremely dangerous idea of closing prisons and abolishing the police, not only would I have signed it, but would have heavily promoted it throughout my network. This idea of abolishing the police has been around for quite some time, and it was not generated by blacks, but by socialists. who have been aggressively courting Black women's support since the rise of the Black Lives Matter movement. It is, of course, absurd to remove the only protection most Black women and children have in heavily Black neighborhoods. And as several commentators have pointed out, over 400 Black women have already been killed this year alone, primarily at the hands of Black males. And we are not even halfway through the year. So yes, Black women should make it known that they would not support such an idea. But as I read over the petition, it became clear to me that Paris Milan and those who are supporting this nonsense of the petition are more upset because the imagery on the cover art features a dark-skinned Black woman. Now let me pause here. When I first saw the artwork, I saw a Black woman, not a dark-skinned Black woman, but a Black woman who looks like the sea of Black women I have seen participating in the anti-police brutality protests nationwide, who also looks like the majority of mothers of the slain, like Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, Philando Castile, Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, and many, many more. The image also looks like the founders of the Black Lives Matter movement, as well as most of their members, and the vast majority of Black women who participated as Black Panthers back in the 60s. Why is this so? Because dark-skinned Black women have a propensity to street protests while lighter-skinned Black women do not? No, because the vast majority of fully Black women, even in the Americas where there is a long history of race mixing, both involuntary and voluntary, the vast majority of fully Black women are solid brown to dark-skinned. So it would make perfect sense to use an image that encapsulates that fact. In addition, members of the dark-skinned Black Women's Brigade who share the same mindset as Paris Milan, Chrissy, and others are often complaining about being overlooked and underappreciated for their sacrifices. I'm sure both Kaepernick and Douglas took this into consideration when designing the image. Now, what do you think their response would have been had the skin tone of the image been lighter skinned? Do you think they would have been satisfied that the face of social justice martyrs, as Paris put it, was not depicted in dark skin? Hell no. They would have been even more upset. So, in essence, these women who claim that they are trying to protect the image of dark-skinned Black women are in effect telling the dark-skinned Black women who went out there and protested, who telling the Black women, period, of all hues, the vast majority of which would have been dark-skinned. These women are telling these women that they had no business making decision for themselves how they wanted to respond to activities happening in their communities, or how these women were to respond to things that they held in high value. So I guess, Paris Milan and Chrissy and I Am Aloho and some of these other people, the pink pill supporting this petition crap, I guess they're the elite. Despite Paris describing the image as militant and politicizing the dark-skinned Black woman phenotype, I saw an image of power and strength. Two things all Black women, not just dark-skinned Black women, have depended on for over 400 years as the only unprotected group of women in the United States. In reading the petition, I find it extremely interesting that Paris mentions the phrase dark-skinned Black women some 12 times. In contrast, she mentions the phrase Black people 3 times. But not even once does she mention the phrase Black women. The Bible says, out of the mouth, the heart speaks. This tells me Paris is not concerned about Black women as a whole, but solely those who are dark-skinned like herself. The irony is, by not reaching out to Colin Kaepernick in a professional, respectful, and mature manner, these women, in my view, look hysterical and in every way like the militant, angry, masculine, combative people they claim he is representing them to be. Now, I fully agree that the police should not be abolished. In fact, we actually need more police in these neighborhoods. But since these same women will not participate with the police, and since the police, who are actually, most of them are white, and they're like, hey, we don't get paid enough for all of this crap that's going down now. Good luck getting the police in these neighborhoods. I also agree that any fight should be led by and fought by the men of the community, if there are any. I completely support Black women and children staying home and out of the fray. If Black men want any improvement to occur in Black neighborhoods, since we really don't have a community, though we keep using that word, then they need to get out there and shut down the many predators that make it unsafe for us to live in proximity to one another. Where I vehemently disagree is the tactic of pulling out the knives in a hair-trigger response instead of allowing Colin Kaepernick and Emory Douglas to explain why they created that image and what messages they meant to convey. Paris Milan, Chrissy, The Pink Pill, and Ayamiloho have nearly 1 million subscribers between them. That's a lot of social influence. And they talk a whole gang about resting in their femininity and protecting their image as a woman. However, this was a decidedly unfeminine response. As the saying goes, you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. Now, I do not compare Kaepernick or Douglas to flies. Both have contributed heavily to trying to improve conditions for Blacks. I mean, to the point where Kaepernick gave up a highly lucrative NFL career. And they focused their work especially in the lower wage communities where most of this drama is happening. I am simply stating that mature women walking not only in femininity, but in grace and wisdom, would have afforded these gentlemen an opportunity to explain their intentions, which in all likelihood might produce the changes they seek, and then some. Furthermore, when you claim you want Black women protected, but really only want dark-skinned Black women protected, you are promoting further division of our people and reveal yourself to be every bit as hypocritical as the Black males who have hijacked the atrocities of our history to only benefit themselves. The petition currently has about 29,000 signatures, and I'm sure the supporters think they've accomplished something important. Side note here, how many of these people do you think are involved in trying to get reparations? No, they haven't accomplished anything important. All they've done is reveal that dysfunction, incivility, and bitter-filled factions are alive and well in the Black community, which is why we are disintegrating and why non-Blacks find it easier to work with other groups. Well done, Paris.